Basically today I am doing a super sweet 1940s makeup tutorial. It's very easy and very fast. Actually much easier than the traditional pinup or 1950s makeup. And if you want the foundation bit of this tutorial, definitely check out my full foundation routine. That's kind of the full foundation I use for the base of every makeup tutorial, but I am actually starting with that done today and then I'm just doing everything on top of that. So let's get started. Okay, so to start with, I am using this Gwen Stefani Urban Decay palette, and I am taking this color, which is Bath Water. In a lot of my videos, especially with pinup makeup, you'll see me use bright white, but for 40s you don't want to use bright white because they didn't really use those stark bright colors that they started using in the 50s. So I'm just going to use my little old school sponge, and I'm just going to apply a little bit on the inner corner, and this is just going to help to brighten up your eye when you start adding that brown. And then I'm also going to apply a little bit underneath the arch of my eyebrow. So now I'm going to take this brownish color called Anaheim, and I'm going to cover my entire lower lid with that. Now with 40s makeup, you don't want to accentuate the crease like you do with 50s makeup. You really want to cover that entire lid. And this is what gives you that sort of like dreamy, smoky, sort of ingenue eye. And you also don't want to apply this shadow in a wing shape like you would do with 50s makeup or pinup makeup. You want to make sure it's very rounded. I have almond shaped eyes, so my eyes just kind of do that naturally, but I'm trying to sort of de-accentuate that. So now we're going to do some eyebrow. Now in the 40s, they started shaping their eyebrows. It wasn't quite as straight and thin as the 30s, but they still had pretty thin eyebrows and they weren't doing the high 50s arch yet. So I'm just gonna try to flatten out my arch a little bit and keep my eyebrows pretty skinny for me. So I'm using Brow Wiz by Anastasia Beverly Hills, and this is just a really skinny pencil. And with this, I'm just sort of filling in any patchiness in my eyebrows. You can see I have some patchiness right here. So I'm just using this to fill that in before I go back in with the powder. And I'm also going to use this pencil to flatten my arch out a little bit. And you also want to pull your eyebrows out a little bit farther than you're comfortable with. So now, once I do that, instead of using a pomade like I usually do for pinup eyebrows, I am using a powder. And this is just going to kind of fill in my eyebrows without making them look super sculpted. In the 40s, they still had more natural eyebrows where you could actually see the hairs. And if you have unruly eyebrows like I do and you need a little something to hold them in place, you can use a clear brow gel. I would definitely use clear because anything tinted is going to make your eyebrows way too bold. So now I'm going to do some liner, and I am using this brown by Obsessive Compulsive Cosmetics. It is called Sybil. You always want to do brown when you're doing 40s makeup. They weren't really doing a lot of eyeliner yet. In the 50s, that's when women became famous for doing the cat eye and the black liquid liner, but they weren't really doing that, especially in the 40s. They were just doing a little bit to accentuate the eyes and then putting fake eyelashes on top. So make sure you have a pencil that is really sharp. And again, make sure you do not wing your eyeliner. Keep it really close to your lash line and no wing. So now I'm going to do a little bit of mascara before I do my fake lashes. This is just Big Look by Pure. You can use whatever mascara you want when you're using fake eyelashes because it doesn't really matter as long as you're getting your lashes black before you put fakes on top of them. And I'm going to do a little bit on the lower lid because I'm not doing any liner or shadow down there, and this is going to help to still be able to see my peepers. So now I'm using these Ardell Lashes, these guys from their natural line. You want lashes that are not too flared on the end. As you can see, these are pretty much straight the whole way and they're really wispy. You really want that. You don't want the solid band ones that the lashes are super dark right here. You want to make sure that they're really sort of light. So I'm just gonna put these suckers on like I put all of my lashes on. And just make sure that you get them down really close to the lash line because you don't have super thick eyeliner that will hide if you put them above your lash line. So while those dry, I'm going to do a little bit of blush. And I'm using this Shangri by Buxom. I like to use a sort of darker, richer color for 40s and 30s makeup because they didn't really use a ton of blush then. They just used a little bit to sort of accentuate the face. And so I don't like to use trendy colors or anything that's too like pinky or too young. And I'm really doing a big broad area with this blush. So now I'm going to apply a lipstick, and this is a red by Bare Minerals, but it is a more orange red. You'll find that they were starting to use more orangey reds in the 40s. They were more muted in the 30s, and then in the 50s they were doing like more bright, bold reds. If you look at any old pictures of Lucille Ball, you will see that she was a redhead that wore orange-red lipstick, and that's kind of what I'm doing for you guys today. So I'm actually not going to use a lip liner with this because I don't want it to be as sort of sharp as my lipstick usually is. I'm going to apply it straight from the tube, and then I'm going to sort of fill in the outside rim with my lip brush. And you want those nice rounded lip edges, a la Rita Hayworth. You don't want anything too sharp. And once your eyelashes are dry, I'm going to give them a little bit of a squeeze with the eyelash curler just to make sure that it accentuates that sort of round shape in your lashes versus the winged shape. Don't squeeze them too hard because otherwise you cramp them. So that is my super easy 1940s makeup tutorial. I hope that you guys found this useful. I'm going to be doing more sort of era-specific makeup and hair tutorials, so definitely subscribe if you want to see more of those. And thank you guys for watching.